Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. Dark English tan Dublin. Let's talk about it. We've actually just put up some brand new irregular items, even though they're not precisely irregular. They're just a little bit off spec from our normal color. This, what you're looking at, is a Johnny the Fox in Horween's Dublin leather, and the color was intended to be English tan. So our normal English tan, I pulled out another Johnny the Fox right here. You can see it's this really beautiful light brown, light tan, a lot of orange to the normal English tan Dublin color. We do have a batch here that is a little bit more brown, and there's a bit of a color range within each of these pieces. So let's skim through a handful of the dark English tan Dublin. Johnny the Fox is here, and everything that we're about to look at here is up and available on the sale page of our website, ashlandleather.com. So this one here, you can see, is a little bit lighter than some of the others. There's sort of these two types of darker English tan. The one on the right, a little bit more orange. The one on the left, a little bit more like golden and dark. But both of them are much, much darker than a normal English tan Dublin that you can see here. On the interior, it does seem like we've got a little bit more of our normal English tan Dublin color, but the exteriors are a little bit dark. And the other thing that's really dramatic is the texture difference on all the outsides. So the one here that's a little bit more golden and more dark in color, you can see a lot of this burst effect. And I suspect what you're seeing here is why these are a little bit darker. I think these got a little bit of extra wax applied to them, which is making that color a little bit more dark and then giving us a more dramatic burst effect as we displace the wax layer that's finished onto the grain. Let's look at a few more here. Looks like this one's a little bit more of that lighter color range, but you can see an incredible burst of color. Now this one has a really wild texture to it. Take a look at the striations and the figuring in the grain of this dark English tan Dublin. It's actually really, really beautiful, which is why I hesitate to call it irregular. But again, it is off of our color specs. And let's flip through just a few more. Looks like we've got one of the more dark ones, a little bit waxier of a look on this. This one, I think, has more of that crazy cool texture, a little bit more orange in this guy. Here's another one. This one's like a little bit more golden and yellow for the undertones, a little bit less orange on there. Here's another one. Looks like we're alternating some texture on this, a little bit more orange on this guy. And the last piece here, definitely darker on the surface, a little bit more of that waxy look, and some of that yellowy sort of golden undertones. So it is a little bit of a bummer that we have some of these Johnny the Foxes that are a little bit outside of our color range that we consider normal, but we are putting them up for a little bit of a discount. So if you're into one of these, again, it's a little bit different than our normal English tan Dublin, which is beautiful, but these are also very beautiful in their own way. You can pick them up for a little bit of a discount right now. But wait, there's more. I've got another English tan Dublin piece. This is also an irregular. We've got a couple other irregulars that I'm going to sneak up onto the website right now. This is English tan Dublin on our small zip wallet. There are some scuffs and scratches in the leather that are not up to our normal standards on this one. We also have that really nice buttery smooth Riri zipper on the outside of the wallet here, and then on the interior we have some black horsehide latigo, and it seems like everything is pretty much brown in the irregular drop today. This one is raw natural shell cordovan, and actually we also have a normal natural shell cordovan piece on the left. This is a good chance for me to show you the difference between the two leathers. So as I sort of tilt them and rock them back and forth in the light, you can see the normal shell cordovan on the left here has a very bright and shiny luster, where the raw natural shell cordovan has a little bit more of a matte finish to it. It has a nice little bit of a sheen to it, but is nowhere near as bright and shiny and mirror-like as a normal piece of shell cordovan. The reason that the raw shell cordovan is really fun is because it gives you a chance to impart your own style into it. So as you wear this, the luster will develop with your style and become a little bit more bright and shiny, but also the color starts to develop and it becomes a little bit more golden and much darker in color. So on the inside of this raw natural shell cordovan, we actually have some teal horsehide latigo on the interior. So a color combination for this guy. And this is also an irregular. There are some scuffs and scratches in here. And let's look at that normal shell cordovan piece. Really bright, shiny luster on this piece of natural shell. Same issue here. Little bits of scuffs and scratches on the outside of the shell cordovan piece. This one also has that really nice rear zipper, and it's very pleasant to use these. It's kind of funny because when I've used these in the past, sometimes I'll sit there and just hold it on the table and sort of with a nervous twitch go back and forth with the slider like that. What's a little bit different on this guy, we have a black horsehide Latigo interior to pair with the natural shell on the outside. We've got two more pieces to show you. This one's a little bit of a bummer. This is natural shell cordovan on a Fat Herbie. This one was personalized with the initials ARHM. So if your initials are ARHM, this might be the right wallet for you. Putting this one up as an extra discount just because it does have that personalization on it. There are some small little cosmetic issues on this Fat Herbie also. And the last piece of the day, this is natural shell cordovan again. Like I said, everything is pretty brown and sort of has that nice orangey tan to it. Let's compare the natural shell cordovan to the dark English tan we were looking at earlier. Sort of a similar family here, but you can see the dark English tan, definitely a little bit more orange and brown to it, where natural shell cordovan has this sort of lighter yellowy golden tones to it. It's very, very nice. So this is the Tony the Ant wallet. This was designed as the little baby brother to the Fat Herbie. So you can see the size difference right here. People really like the aesthetic of the Fat Herbie with the exterior bill slot. Then you can see the thumb notch on the back there. So they wanted that same effect of the exterior bill slot, but in a smaller footprint. That's how the Tony the Ant came about. So we have a bill slot on the outside with that thumb notch that I mentioned. And on the interior, we have 4 card holders. The larger 2 card holders, these will fit US dollars folded in half. And this Tony the Ant is also irregular for some small cosmetic issues. But honestly, these are the types of things that the wallet will just pick up with normal wear. And as you wear it, all those little bits of scuffs and scratches will wear in and blend in sort of naturally. So it's a pretty good deal to get irregulars on these Horween shell cordovan wallets, as well as the dark English tan Dublin that we looked at earlier. It's a really special leather, and it's a little bit of a shame that it's off color, but I'd like to get rid of them, so I'm putting them up for a discount. So if you're into one of these, maybe you want to pick up one for a gift. They're up on the website right now. We actually have about 15 or 20 of these. So it should be a good chance to get these in everybody's hands. So thanks so much for checking out the video today. If you have any questions about the dark English tan here and some of this incredible grain figuring that I'm seeing, definitely leave a comment. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.